Welcome to PlayStation Corner, my name is Alex and today we're taking a look at my favourite PSN deals coming in under $10 or your local currency, and here I cover the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. This one, it's for sure what I feel is a bit of an indie week, but a fair few gems in here, so hit subscribe, join us here on PlayStation Corner for reviews and deals weekly, and let's get started. The Forest then is one I picked up in a sale myself. I'm a big fan of survival games and I paid a bit more than this, but I was definitely impressed with what it delivered. Kind of splices it together then with a horror theme as well. First person though, you are the sole survivor of a plane crash, and it just happens this location home to a lovely little society of cannibals. Think here though the genre standard resource gathering, crafting, to survive, but then the locals, they for sure add a new air of terror to things as you fight back against these enemies or even stealth by them. That is often gonna be as well the better option. It's a new low price then, 65% off. The TakeOver then, for those that came across from Switch Corner or Xbox Corner, both linked in the pinned comment down below, you will know I'm a big fan of this one. It's a Streets of Rage tribute, but it gets more than enough right to stand alongside its idols rather than in their shadows. The idea though, 3 characters that are out to save a kidnapped daughter. The gameplay is solid though, typical kind of side-scrolling brawler action, but I enjoyed the combat, the moves, and then it throws in a few unique vehicle-based stages as well. Unfortunately, it happened to release though right around Streets of Rage 4 and kind of got overshadowed, but this was in development for years before it. It's a new low price then, 50% off. Huntdown then is another retro gem, but this one more for the run and gun fans out there. This one, it puts us into a futuristic world as one of many bounty hunters and asks us to get to work on behalf of an organisation to basically take down a variety of gangs. Definitely gives me the Warriors vibe in some of its designs, but the action, fast-paced, challenging and just generally extremely visceral. It's accompanied then with some stunning pixel work, and the soundtrack here is killer. I liked the soundtrack so much, in fact, I picked up the final soundtrack release via limited run games. It's matching the low price then, 60% off. Aerial and Nights Never Yield then is another title with an incredible soundtrack. If you don't buy the game, at least check out the soundtrack here on YouTube or through something like Spotify. It's about as catchy as they come. Now gameplay wise, it is an auto runner, you're escaping some sort of organisation. Honestly, the story it tries, but it is weak and it still makes very little sense to me honestly, but the gameplay more than fine. Think here though, it's the usual match your actions to obstacles flying your way, and it's a decent runtime, and then that's followed with kind of high score chasing. It's a new low then, 50% off. Narita Boy then will be for the Metroidvania fans out there. It plays into the almost like synthwave style of this one, so visually it's absolutely unique. It's all about invading a programmer's code and essentially protecting it. Along the way though, you'll be learning more of the world, but also then its creator. The gameplay is sound as well, and things like the Techno Sword, it definitely knows how to play into its themes. Being a Metroidvania though, the one disappointment I had, there's no map. There's already a lot of backtracking in a Metroidvania, so things here, they can get a little bit confusing, but not in the good way, rather you find yourself simply lost. Wouldn't say it's a frequent occurrence, but worth knowing as you do jump in, but it's still well worth this new low price of 60% off. The Coma 2 Fisher Sisters then is here with a new low 70% off, and yes, it is a sequel. Those that played the original, there's definitely references in here and things tying it back, but it is in no way necessary. I love them both personally, but this is absolutely the stronger of the 2 entries. It just kind of expanded upon the formula. The idea though, you fall asleep in school, you awake in what is an alternate world full of horror. So the original, it restricted you to the school environment. This one develops an entire world now around it, including though both good monsters, shall we say, and then of course those that want to kill you. It's a game really all about exploration, pushing that narrative forward, and of course then running for your life and finding somewhere to hide. Do not come here for combat, it's really not the case. Unmetal then is a gem, as are many of today's titles, but this one is for the old school Metal Gear fans. It's a story of Jesse Fox, a man who finds himself imprisoned in a military base. You was arrested for a crime you did not commit. Now you need to, of course, escape. It's a combination of action and stealth, but your character will gain experience and skills along the way. It just nails the delivery here, tons of references, a really great sense of humour, a good grasp of its narrative as well, and yeah, this one, it's one I jumped into late as well, but I'm glad I didn't skip it. It's a new low price then, 50% off. A true modern classic then, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition. We see this price a lot, honestly, 80% off, it matches the low, but I just got a Steam Deck and it had me jumping back into this world to see how it all looks and runs, and it's just let's face it, a hell of a game. Keeping it simple, you mostly know this one, but you are on the hunt for the Child of Prophecy in perhaps what is one of the best action RPGs ever made. This complete edition then, it packs in the Wild Hunt base game, 16 DLCs and 2 sizable expansions. Those are Hearts of Stone and then Blood and Wine. You'll get well over 100 hours of gameplay from this one, so it's definitely a steal of a price, and if you've never played it, you absolutely should. It should be in everyone's library. Our penultimate game of the video then, a personal favourite, Darkest Dungeon. This is also an expanded edition then, known as the Ancestral Edition. It's packing the base game alongside the Crimson Court, the Shield Breaker and the Colour of Madness DLC. These, they add a new campaign, a new hero and a new region to battle your way through. It's a masterpiece and a new low price, 85% off. Now, the gameplay, for those that do not know, a gothic roguelike turn-based RPG. I've sunk a ton of hours into it over the years. You'll be leading a team of heroes through this world, taking on quests, battling enemies, but what made it unique, it's not just about battling those enemies, but also things like stress, disease, famine and the like. The sequel, it needs to hurry up now and release outside of the Epic Game Store as well. Our final game of the video then, that is Sultan Sanctuary. It's back matching the low here, 75% off, and it's only the second time we've ever seen this price. It's perfect timing though, the sequel just recently launched, Assault and Sacrifice. Playing that one myself now, it's definitely received somewhat mixed reviews, and I'd have to agree, it is not up to the quality of this original release, or at least, from what I've seen this far. It's a combination somewhat though, think of Souls-like and Metroidvania. It's all presented then in 2D, but it's got this stunning visual style that in action it looks really special. The combat then, it's as expected brutal, and it just does a great job of variety, whether that's the enemies, the boss encounters, but then think here some 600 plus weapons, armor, spells and items. It's then packing finally the more traditional aspects of RPG progression as well. And yeah, you're shipwrecked on an island, overtaken by evil. And that is the week down. Will you be adding anything to the library this week or holding onto that cash? With that then, hit subscribe, join us here at PlayStation Corner for reviews and deals weekly, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.